Hello friends. We are here with a new video. In this video, we'll take a look at the ancient nuclear explosion. Are these events real? Is it speculation? Did it occur as a result of natural events? We will answer all these questions. We will be very careful, objective and honest in answering these questions. Before I start the video, I have a small request from you. Please don't forget to like my videos, subscribe to my channel and comment your opinion. The history of the modern nuclear weapon begins with the letter sent by Albert Einstein on August 2, 1939, to President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Soon the U.S. government launched the project to build an armament core known as the Manhattan Project. Since enormous uranium was needed to build a nuclear weapon, an enrichment facility was built at Oak Ridge, Tennessee by the gas diffusion process, and California University Ernest Lawrence set up the process of magnetic separation of uranium isotopes. When the first bomb exploded in the desert of New Mexico, the sand turned into a huge large green glass. At extremely high temperatures the sand turns into glass, which has helped archaeologists to better understand what happened on Earth thousands of years ago. Mahabharata. The Mahabharata, one of the most important epics of ancient India, contains numerous stories about some mysterious peoples who have reached a technologically advanced degree in ancient India, the other being Ramayana. It is composed of 100,000 verses divided into 18 parts or books. These ancient texts are more than a historical narrative, they are a combination of facts, legends, stories, and myths. Among these historical texts, one encounters a clear reference to at least one nuclear explosion that would have taken place about 12,000 years ago. Originally these legends were ignored by historians because it was supposed to be the imagination of the one who wrote the famous Mahabharata epic. Things have taken a strange turn as archaeologists discovered the ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro, somewhere in the early 1900s. Mohenjo-Daro was built around in the year 2600 BC and abandoned about 1700 years BC, discovered by archaeologists in 1922 during the construction of a railroad, when workers began digging near the hill. The last excavations made in the area were between 1964–1965 by a team led by George Dales. In the 1980s, archaeologists used less invasive techniques, surface or local polls to gather more information. There are many places on Earth that seem to have been destroyed by a nuclear explosion, but the most amazing of all is Mohenjo-Daro. Mohenjo-Daro, nuclear explosion? Located today on the territory of Pakistan, Mohenjo-Daro is part of a set of settlements belonging to the so-called Harappa civilization, also known as the Indus Valley Civilization. One of those who have dedicated their lives to studying these ruins is the Englishman David W. Davenport, who after 12 years of research published in 1979 a book entitled Atomic Destruction 2000 BC, the volume being built on the hypothesis that Mohenjo-Daro did not ruin the passage of time, but his end was the consequence of a nuclear deflagration. Following analyses and research, archaeologists have discovered that Mohenjo-Daro was destroyed following a nuclear explosion. This conclusion comes from the fact that there are thick layers of clay and green glass inside the city. This green glass only occurs in the case of atomic explosions. Apart from this, the skeletons of the city's inhabitants were scattered everywhere as if a global catastrophe had occurred thousands of years ago. Laboratory analysis showed that Mohenjo-Daro had been subjected to temperatures above 1,500 degrees Celsius. This immense temperature can only be explained by a nuclear explosion of apocalyptic proportions. Another interesting aspect is that the radioactivity in the lost city, Mohenjo-Daro, still exceeds 10 times the normal level today. Another curious sign of an ancient nuclear war in India is a giant crater near Bombay. The Lonar crater, almost circularly 2.154 meters in diameter, located 400 kilometers northeast of the city, is at least 50,000 years old and could be related to an ancient nuclear war. These incredible discoveries, largely disputed by the modern world and the scientific world, indicate the existence of impressively powerful and developed civilizations that have lived in the distant past of the Earth. Whether we want to accept or not, in the 4.5 billion years Earth has existed, it is impossible that other civilizations advanced from a technologically spiritual point of view. Of course, scientists shrugged when it came to explaining how this atomic explosion could be produced. Reading in the famous Mahabharata epic, we find that one of the legends describes what happened at Mohenjo-Daro. One day, for unknown reasons, a ball of fire was spotted in the sky. He sent a very powerful beam to Mohenjo-Daro, and in just a few seconds everything was gone. The explosion burned both humans and animals, and everything was silenced. We have come to the end of another video. See you in new videos. Goodbye, take care of yourself.